Welcome back. We've made a switch. Chimi has taken a leave. And of course, Damlola Onifade has joined us now. Greetings to you, Damlola. I must say it's been a while. That part of the conversation we're doing outside of the studio. But good to have you with us on the show today.
Good to be here, Yomi. Pleasure.
All right. Where do we start from? Upcoming National Youth Games, your thoughts? Has it served purpose?
Well,
you say, why do I do this to you all the time?
You do it all the time. And I was expecting you to do it again. But I think it does. It has served purpose. In terms of the level of identification,
yes.
Throwing up new names, fresh talent, yes. But unfortunately, after then, we tend to rely on other systems to develop them because most of them now find scholarship to go to the US.
Once they get known.
But at least to the level of discovery.
It's okay.
It's okay. It's how we now scale that to the level of building them within Nigeria towards that talent and to build the capacity to be able to compete at the highest level.
To retain them in the system, and they becoming stars within the
system. When we can really say that we didn't just identify them, we produced them. I think that's the gap.
Developed them. Discovered, developed, nurtured to stardom.
That's the area where the gap is. But to the extent of discovery, I think it's a good one, and it's a program we should sustain.
All right. Okay, let's bring on the show tonight a member of the media committee of the National Youth, member of the media committee of the local organizing committee for the National Youth Games, Ocholor. He joins us on the show tonight. Greetings to you. Thanks for finding time to be with us on the show tonight.
Yes, nice being here, and good evening to our viewers out there.
All right. So, I mean, let's just dive straight into the conversation. What can you tell us as the day has approached anyway? We're talking about tomorrow. But what can you tell us about the state of readiness to, it's going to happen in Asaba. So what can you tell us about the state of readiness to get this going?
Yeah, thank you very much. Just since yesterday, we'll be receiving states. Almost all the 36 states of the FCT are here. You want to take 35 plus the FCT, including the host Delta. So we have been ready. States are trooping into Asaba, the state capital of Delta, for the 9th edition of the National Youth Games. And most of the states came for screening this afternoon. We had a screening from the morning into this afternoon, and the screening went very, very well. We didn't have hiccups, so that means everything from the DRON, knowing exactly how many outlets, that's over 6,000 outlets from the states, 36 and FCT, participating in most about 37 spots. Here at the 9th edition of the National Youth Games. So we're ready in terms of accommodation, excellent facilities. You remember we were the host last year, so we had to build upon our experiences, going back to the drawing board to do a review of where there were little lapses, and we built upon that. So everything is set for the opening ceremony tomorrow, which will be broadcast live. So I think we're good. We're good. Under the direction of the chairman of the Sports Commission, Mr. Onosoborori, and of course his partners and the management of the nation, looking for position and the media, and also the executive assistant to the governor of sports development. So from this perspective, from this angle, we're good to go.
All right, that's good to hear. All right, we need to go on a break in a few seconds. So we'd like to keep you on. We'll go on that break, we'll return. And of course, all right, okay, so I guess we just continue with line of questioning. I was thinking we were going to go on a break, but I wanted to ask you, it is good we're not going on that break so that I can ask you this question. You've seen the contingents from each state. So looking at how the states have approached, you know, these youth games with what they're with the athletes they're sending. Can you gauge the level of acceptance or enthusiasm for the National Youth Games?
The level of acceptance is huge. We're doing this away from Lorry, from to the Delta took it over. So the level of acceptance is very huge from the states, because what this means is that the states have an opportunity to now discover talents for the main national sports festival, like this one coming up in Enugu next year. So gauging it, the states have an opportunity to discover talent, to nurture, develop, and begin to prepare them for podium, meaning the athletes must win medals. So all the features that you expect athletes to have for the podium are all exhibited at the junior level at the National Youth Games. So what you find the states doing here, or coming to do in Asaba, the Delta State capital, is to bring their athletes they know that will provide medals for the future, now and for the future. You remember we just came back from a National Sports Festival in Abeokuta, where we won the festival again. You remember we also came back from the Niger Delta Games in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, where we came second behind Bayelsa. So all of this means that states are not relenting, they're not resting on the hours, they're also doing a whole lot to see that more talents are discovered from our schools, from our communities, to ensure that those are the athletes who go on to have scholarships. Your colleague in the studio mentioned scholarships. That's true. We organized the Argonne Local Government Sports Festival. Most of the talents were discovered in going into the second and the third edition. About 160 of them are on scholarship right now in the United States. Fili, Ella Obenya, Temitope Additional, you name them. They are doing so well coming from the communities. So the yardstick is that the National Youth Games is for development, it's for discovery of talents, it's for development, and also for podium finish.
All right. I'm very sure my colleague Austin has a few questions to throw in.
Harrison, this is the 9th edition, and for those of us who are big on grassroots sports development in Nigeria, we believe this is a good platform to achieve those long-term goals. What are we doing differently this time around, and how do we monitor the stars that we get out of the National Youth Games?
Thank you very much, Austin. What we've done that we didn't do last time was to have what you call a talent hunt evaluation subcommittee headed by Chief Seigako Beni. You remember him, the former director of Sports Delta, and some other professionals like Professor Bako from the University of Port Harcourt. So what we're doing this time around differently is that we put this committee in place to ensure that we discover talents, not just from Delta, but on a national scale, which will relate to the main organizing committee, that the talents we discover will begin to now train them, evaluate, train them, and now make sure they go to podium finish. Now, you remember the last National Youth Games, or should I say the last National Sports Festival, we had the invited athletes, IJA. Now, those invited junior athletes, you saw what they did winning medals at the last National Sports Festival in Abeokuta. This is the direction. We just don't want to leave it for just the junior games like the National Youth Games or the National Sports Festival. So what the main organizing committee and the local organizing committee have done in this instance is that they've decided to set up what you call a talent hunt subcommittee to now discover, nurture, and what you call create a database that will be handed over to the National Sports Commission for the future. So what this is doing for us is that for all the 36 states that have converged in Asaba, the state capital, we're putting an eye on all the members of the contingent in all the sports, athletics, basketball, swimming, table tennis, you name it. We just want to ensure that we discover athletes that will do Nigeria proud for the future, so we're not leaving anything behind.
Harrison, thank you so much for your time on the show. Fully, when it's all done, we'll come back and we'll do a proper assessment. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Justin. Great to be here.
Awesome. That's it, Harrison. Ocholor. He's part of the LOC and a member of the media committee.
So what the main organizing committee and the local organizing committee have done in this instance is that they've decided to set up what you call a talent hunt subcommittee to now discover, nurture, and what you call create a database that will be handed over to the National Sports Commission for the future. So what this is doing for us is that for all the 36 states that have converged in Asaba, the state capital, we're putting an eye on all the members of the contingent in all the sports, athletics, basketball, swimming, table tennis, you name it. We just want to ensure that we discover athletes that will do Nigeria proud for the future, so we're not leaving anything behind.
Harrison, thank you so much for your time on the show. Hopefully when it's all done, we'll come back and we'll do a proper assessment. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Austin. Great to be here.
Awesome, awesome. That's it, Harrison Ocholor. He's part of the LOC and a member of the media committee.